Yo, what's up? It's Luke Oz, chilling in the hot tub here up in Colville. Didn't really get a lot of good sleep last night, unfortunately, but obviously I'm in the path I'm supposed to be, recognizing when things shift and trusting the process without being able to pinpoint the purpose. Like, I think that's what a lot of us look for, is like the whys, and sometimes it's as simple as just doing because our brains don't always comprehend as quickly as our heart's energy or intuition does. So anyways, I'm in a hot tub here, getting my recharge, and I thought about doing a video, not sure what it's about, but I was listening to some shamanic beats here in the hot tub, and I was like, well, I'll wait until the bubbles in the hot tub stop because it's super noisy and you can't hear. And as soon as I thought that, the bubble machine stopped. So I took that as a sign to do a video. There's been a lot of experiences and interactions with people that I've had just in this last week where it feels like, I don't know, I think there's a lot of fear in change. I mean, that's kind of the human side of us, but there's also a lot of there's a difference between blockages and boundaries, Boundaries you set for yourself. Blockages are something that you haven't dealt with. It's more or less, to me, I think of shadow work. Things that oneself is not dealing with that need to be dealt in order to get to a next level of life, living, consciousness. It's all in one, pretty much. And I've been in some situations in some areas in the last couple of weeks where my intentions were good. The receiving side of energy and friendships wasn't so good on their part, and instead of realizing that, due to probably being under certain types of drugs or alcohol, whatever it may be, to deal with past tragedy, trauma, because that's what we go to as humans. We want a head change, we want to be out of that frame of mind. But it really stifles when people come into your life and they're trying to plant a seed. And, as healers, we shouldn't have expectations that any of our works, let me rephrase that. We should have realistic expectations of what's going to work for somebody. If we are in tune with our intuition, and when we get in tune with our intuition, we get in tune with other people's energies. It's really easy. It's not a hard thing to do either. And people get mind blown by that sometimes, especially people that are not knowledgeable or have had experience in energy work or transference of energy. It's very foreign to them, so already from the gate, it's like there's a closed-mindedness to it. And when you try to help people in that frame of mind, you cannot expect very much reception from that person, or like any exchange or return. As a matter of fact, I've done energy work recently on a person that I'm not sure what this person was on, but I knew they were on something, and like whatever they were on almost built blocks around them, so they were not able to receive the energy I was giving to them correctly. And they took it as a threat, so they took it as was almost like, as long as you're talking to me, you're giving me your bad energy type deal is what it was. And it blew my freaking mind. It's the first time dealing with somebody like that, you know, who actually blames me for their trauma or tries to tell me that I am trying to give my negative energy to it. It's a very closed off way of thinking, and you just, like, everything's being blocked because you're blocking stuff from the trauma you faced in your past. And this is what I've seen in a couple different situations of people that I've dealt with and friends that I've still today deal with. And it's very sad, but at the same time, you know, us as healers, we are currently planting a seed that goes into the subconscious mind. And when the divine timing is right, they will pick that up and understand why I mean, the same thing happens with me. I don't always understand why I'm going through certain situations up until way later, months later, sometimes a couple years later, and then all the realizations and just everything that unfolds makes sense. And it sucks as far as that goes, but it also leaves a hint of adventure in life. For me, it leaves that questionable, should I do this or should I do that? Like, you know, I basically got a room last night and did not stay in the room at all because I chose to go hang out with my buddies in a new project I'll be starting very soon as the zombie drummer, and we hung out. We shared our souls together. We just love one another, you know. We show respect, we suit up, we show up, we are there for each other, and, you know, that's hard to come by nowadays. Like, authentically, that's hard to come by, and so it was a good time. I didn't get to stay in my room here at the Best Western because, yes, I was a little too fucked up, and I decided to just go around the corner from where I got fucked up at, or anyways, that's a different story, but where I got messed up at, and decided to just pull off, you know, sleep in my car for 4 or 5 hours, then head back up here to my room so I can get in this nice hot tub. The continental breakfast is amazing here. If you've never been to Best Western in Colville, it's pretty nice. The scenery up here is nice. It's cold as fuck right now, but, you know, we're in high altitude, so understandable. But it's, you know, like, if I would have just stayed in my hotel here all night long and didn't go and interact with my brother and my family, my musician friends, like, we're all about the same thing, you know. We're all about taking our fucked up energy and turning it and alchemizing it to better energy, and then sharing the better energy with the audience or with whoever's receiving the music, the tones, the frequencies. You know, that's what we're about. This is our purpose in life, and this is why, still at the age of 49, trying to go somewhere with music and never being able to, like in my own head, I'm a rock star, you know, but technically I'm not. I'm just a really good drummer, and I hang out with really awesome musicians that influence me to be a better drummer. So, and that can go all across the board as far as life goes. You know, you find somebody that you niche with, and you study what they do. You know, things that they do might not always resonate with you or work for you, but at least you got some kind of direction that you can, if you get sick of doing the same old shit that's bringing you the same fucking results over and over and over, hence the definition of insanity, and it's not working for you, it's not what you want to do anymore, the connection is all there. I think the biggest thing is people get afraid because we are programmed, and when we get out of that programming mode slightly, and I know my YouTube videos are probably not being posted anywhere or at all because I'm not, like, boosting this at all. I'm not trying to do certain things on YouTube to make this like a hit I'm doing this for me, and I'm doing this for the person that actually is looking for a different perspective. Now, when you look, you do the search, somebody who's actually actively looking for a better way, for a little bit of guidance, for a little bit of insight, for a little bit of experience. And being an empath and healer, we're easily to connect with your energy and feel what you're feeling and kind of know what the next step might be. And that's what people don't realize, because they're either not completely open with energy work or the ability to be psychic or empathic and know what one's feeling. I know it's weird because we weren't taught that we could do that. We were never taught that. Now we're in the ages of everybody's starting to see that, hey, this is actually a thing. Whether it be a fad, if it's only a fad because, oh, my friends were doing this breath work, sound baths, it's maybe a fad, but once they get into it, they realize this shit's real, and this is something that we haven't been introduced to by our family members, or unless they grew up in a type of lifestyle. But the majority of the people I run with, we had to bash and kick and struggle to move through life, the simplicities of life. And sometimes it gets overwhelming for us. And then when you realize how empathic you are and how much power you can portray and how much you can do, then it gets really scary, because you don't, as far as this is my experience, I don't want to go too far, but what I realize I do with people, and it's not because I want to, it's because it's my purpose here and I've accepted it, and I am very cautious about who I do share that with, because if the person's not ready, sometimes my ego or my idea or something can take place, and then unrealistic expectations come about, and then the next thing you know, I'm downing and questioning everything I do. It's not a bad thing to question what you do, but if you've been doing it for a while and you've seen the results, and the results have been moving and they've helped my life seem more livable or have a purpose, then that's when you just know, you just know. But as healers, and people start to learn that they're healers, they don't know how to. A lot of people, I've taken my energy work to a darker level where I was taking advantage of people. I don't do that anymore. I do connect with people on a deeper level, I feel, because of the practices I do. I'm just more open and more receiving. But you can use it to a negative effect, where your intentions are for the purpose of helping that person, but possibly helping yourself. And I found in my experience, when I do that, I get nowhere, and I really end up getting depressed. So it's like the universe saying, okay, you're messing up, you're fucking up, you're not moving with good intentions, so slap, this is what we're gonna give you. You can have a little karma payback for that, and that happens all the time. If I'm not diligent on doing a weekly maintenance check-in on myself, then I can get really out of line and really make bad decisions for all the wrong reasons. And I'm trying not to be that person today, but again, nobody's perfect. We live in between two oceans. We are an ocean ourselves, and it's very tricky. And I guess you just gotta really want to be in this 3D life and learn how to flow fluently as possible without, causing damage to people or yourself. And I think that's what energy work has done for me. Granted that people in the past have said, oh, you made my life a living hell, but the only reason why the hell is there is because there's shadow work they didn't tend to. And I was like, oh, well, look at this. And, that's my purpose in life. When I get close and up front and real personal with people, their shadow work starts to just
gleam out to them. It's not that I'm shooting it out there, saying anything at all. I don't have to say